This is the Black Lives Don't Matter podcast. That's what I said. Black lives don't matter. What kind of up podcast is this? Black lives don't matter? Really? Man, who is this dude? Black guy? Wait, so a black man got a podcast called Black Lives Don't Matter. It's like President Obama waving the rebel flag. I done seen it all now. Maybe this is what it takes. Time to shine the light on all the times black life didn't matter. Talk your truth, brother. Listen up. Let's get down with this. Because if black lives really mattered, we wouldn't need a movement. Now would we?
That's right. I'm on the horn today, trying to make everybody understand how important it is to get out and fucking vote. It is a big ass deal. If you're not registered to vote, it's too late now. You should have did that shit last month. Start standing the fuck up, get your ass up and go out and vote. Be part of the fucking process. We get a say so, black people. You know that, right? We get a say, but only if we register to say the shit that we need to say. You know, we love to say shit. That's one thing about us. We love to tell people some shit. But we don't say shit when it comes to voting. We don't fucking vote. We don't go out. We don't show the fuck up. In recent years, I will give us this. In recent years, we have shown up a little bit more to the polls, but we still do not show up. We don't register to vote. The county that I live in, they have on record, there's 60,000 registered Republicans. There's 10,000 registered Democrats. Okay? Now, in this town here, it ain't no secret, the black folks are Democrats. You know, there's Harris Waltz campaign signs in a few of the yards that you see. Most of the people there in the urban areas are Democrats. But there's only 10,000 Democrats here in the county that I live in. Only 10,000. Or maybe it's the city I live in. 10,000 to 50,000 Republicans. You know what that means? That means those people get up and they go down and they fill out their forms and they register themselves to be a part of the process in order to make policy, to help make policy, to help make policy. I don't think you guys are fucking hearing me. To help make policy, goddammit. Register to vote so you can help make policy. You get it? You understand? I hope you do. I hope that you're understanding, because I'm seeing a whole lot of fucking sitting around. I'm hearing a whole lot of, oh, I'm not really a political person like that. I'm hearing a whole lot of, that shit don't really affect me like that. Well, what about the rest of us? Do you care about the rest of us? Maybe it affects the rest of your people. Do you give a fuck about that, or just what the fuck you got going on for you? Because that's generally what we do now. We don't fuck around with everybody else. We don't fuck around, our own little cliques, and then everybody else, like Drake said, no new friends, nigga, no new friends. That's stupid. Because these motherfuckers out here done made friends, coalitions, foundations, all kinds of shit while we sitting around doing fucking nothing, talking about some we ain't political people. We are not players in the game. We are not players in the game, y'all. And we got to stand the fuck up. Black lives got to start mattering. Here in Orlando, yesterday was Halloween. Today is November 1st. Last night in Orlando, a 17-year-old black man shot another black man, point blank range, right there in the fucking street. For what? I don't know. He was the dude who the shooter was 17. Motherfucker was 17 years old. But they don't give a fuck. You know what that is? That's two more of you motherfuckers off the motherfucking, off the street. That's all it is to them. That's all you are to them. It's two more niggas off the street. Because black lives are not mattering to black people. And it's getting younger and younger. We got 13-year-olds out here with fucking weapons, out here just taking life. Listening to these fucking dumbass rappers out here telling them to go out here and take a life, how cool it is, and how fucking, how that's the shit you gotta do to survive in the world. Man, fuck that. What you gotta do to survive is vote. What you motherfuckers make a song about voting? How about that? Get your fucking ignorant ass up and make a song about get your ass out and be part of the fucking process. How about that shit? Can we get some accountability rap over in this bitch? Huh? Can we see some of that? Can we see some of you motherfuckers praising good things about us? Can we see some of you motherfuckers rapping about how we gonna do legitimate shit to get out the fucking hood? How about rapping about, staying in the relationship with the woman that loves you and you love instead of running out on motherfuckers? Can we do that? How about that? How about that shit? I'm so tired. And don't get me wrong, I'm Captain Hip Hop. I'm real hip hop, man. I'm super hip hop, as a matter of fact, but I'm getting really, really tired of motherfuckers beating the same ass, dead ass horse. I got money. I fucked your bitch. I kill your ass, nigga. I got cars. Nigga, shut your fucking ass up. Shut the fuck up. It's the same song regurgitated a million times. I got ice on my wrists. You can't fucking fuck with me and my clique. I fucked your bitch. Man, shut the fuck up. Motherfuckers is idiots. And the motherfuckers following behind that shit, y'all idiots too. Standing up in the booth trying to fucking recreate that shit. Yeah, nigga. Shut the fuck up. You ignorant ass. You motherfuckers is ignorant. Make some real ass music. Talking about I'm an artist. Man, shut your ass up. You're ignorant. You're an idiot. You're not a fucking artist. You're a murderer. You're a fucking killer. You're out here causing your people out here to go out here and commit these things against their own people. And you glorify that shit. And what do you say? Nigga, that ain't got nothing to do with me, man. Them niggas can get their own shit. Because you're selfish. I'm tired of you niggas. I'm tired of you motherfuckers. I promise you. I promise you. I'm tired of you motherfuckers. I'm tired of motherfuckers preaching like they got all this shit and they got renting cars and talking about some native fucking man. You ain't shit, bro. You said 2-3 stupid ass lyrics and you think you fucking Jesus Christ walking around the earth. Fuck you. How about that? I'm so sick of you motherfuckers. Why don't you go out and tell these people to vote for their futures instead of taking it away from them? How about that? How many futures have you motherfuckers taken away from young black men because they listen and idolize your words and you made it out the hood? Maybe I could be like this nigga and making it out the hood. And your dumb ass falling for the record executive shit. You know what I'm saying? You just falling for that shit. You fall for it. So that's the way you make it out, by putting your own people down. Aerosmith ain't never had to fucking do that shit. AC/DC ain't never had to fucking do that shit. Gwen Stefani ain't never had to fucking do that shit. Brad Paisley ain't never had to fucking do that shit. Fucking Trace Atkins. None of these motherfuckers had to do that shit. Taylor Swift ain't never had to fucking put her own fucking people down. None of these people had to do that in order to get a fucking record deal. Does that make any fucking sense to you? Do you understand what that is meaning? That means we get deals based on the shit we say to our people. Our music is super hyper sexualized. I mean, everything is about fucking somebody or getting somebody clothes off. You just can't say, I love my woman because she has a beautiful smile. I love my woman because she's a great person. None of that. This got to be like, let me slide your fucking drawers off, bitch, and let me slide up in them guts. And that's supposed to be some romantic fucking R&B shit. Motherfuckers, man, I'm so sick of y'all, man. I'm sick of y'all. I'm sick of y'all, man. And don't get me wrong, man. I love young talent, man. I really do. I love young people because I was a young person once, who had some sort of talent. I was a young person who had aspirations of doing something bigger than just sitting around the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? And all these cats, they get out and they work and yo, kudos to y'all. But you have to change your direction. You have to stand up with a little bit of backbone. Well, we're not going to give you this deal unless you're talking about, well, you know what then? I guess I'll have to shop my shit someplace else. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm tired of talking down to my people. I'm tired of putting my people down. I'm tired of working for your agenda. It's time to start telling my people to get out and vote your ass out. Simple as that. It's time for me to get up and have my people unified together so that we can have our own thing. So I don't need to go over to fucking Sony Music to get a record deal. I could come right over here back to motherfucking Motown. And they going to give me a record deal regardless of what kind of black music I put out, because they love black people. They love black art. And that's what it is. It's about art, y'all. It's about maintaining art. And fuck vulgarity, man. Fuck bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks, even though that was a good song, Snoop. Shout out to Snoop for making that when it was a banger. But fuck that shit. Get to the point where you can decipher. I mean, and listen, I will use Snoop Dogg as an example. Snoop came out with some of the most fucking abrasive shit that was catchy as fuck when he first came out. But Snoop got wise, man. Snoop got wise and was like, yo, for real? All this shit? It's not really what it is. You know who else got wise? 50. 50 got wise. These cats got wise. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we need. We need wise brothers, man. We need wise brothers that can sit down and break down politics to young brothers and sisters so that they understand, because they ain't never going to make nothing for us that we understand. They're going to try to make it so we don't understand shit. They're going to make put language in all kinds of passages and, extra words and all kind of shit so it confuses us. We need brothers to learn to sit down and break down politics to our young brothers and sisters and how it is important and how it affects their lives. And shout out to my youngest son, because at 14, he's 16 now. At 14, he understood. At 14, he was understanding the ways that things in the country were being shaped. And shout out to him for that. Shout out to him for being intrigued in that. Now, I wasn't that intrigued. I was running around trying to do other shit. But if I was 14 years old and I knew what he knew, I think the world could have possibly been a very different place if we knew these things. But now there's information out there for our kids to learn. It's not for nothing. We are the best teachers. And the reason why is because we have actual life experience. You could write a bunch of shit on a piece of paper that says something about a place. You can write down, this place is beautiful, this place has this place is that, da-da-da-da, and you're never going to fucking believe it. You might believe some of it, but you're not going to believe all of it until you put your eyes on it. And once you put your eyes on it, you may have a tendency not to believe what was written. You know what I'm saying? We have to believe that we can be better than we are. We got to believe that we don't need anybody for shit. We have to believe that, because we say that, but what we do is we looking to validate ourselves in front of everybody else, in front of white folks, Indian folks, Latin folks, everybody. And some Latin folks are even caught up in this also. We want to embellish ourselves to make ourselves look good in front of these other people, these so-called overseers. You know what I'm saying? We need to shake that. We need to shake needing the validation of others and validate ourselves. We've validated ourselves. We just don't believe in ourselves. And once we get something going, we got to understand and recognize the patterns, y'all. Once we get something good going for us, once black people get something good, notice how motherfuckers sneak right up and start taking aim at it. First, they try to discredit it. First, they try to make it seem like it can't be done, or it's unethical, or whatever the fuck it is. They try to make it seem like the thing that we've done is so bad. But then, slowly but surely, once they either figure out how to monetize it or weaponize it, it's not ours anymore. It doesn't belong to us anymore. It's not special anymore, because now everybody's got it. Now everybody's done what they did with it, and now it's no longer ours. It's no longer part of ours, and people lose the foundation of a lot of things, a lot of our culture. They lose the foundation because it gets snatched up and taken by other people because we let it, because we don't get involved. We have been trained to not get involved. We have got to start being involved in our futures instead of sitting here and letting our futures be dictated to us by fucking, not to knock her Nicki Minaj or fucking Jay-Z or any of these fucking people. You know what I'm saying? These people don't influence our futures. Okay? They're not part of our futures. There are very few of those people who actually care about what the fuck we go through on this level. You know what I'm saying? If they did, people would be more vocal about it. There's super celebrities out there. Super celebrities that feel a particular way about shit, but don't feel a particular way about other shit. They might feel it, but they not gonna put they riches on the line and speak up for you, nigga. Even though you would put your life on the line to speak up for them. They're not gonna put nothing on the line for you, man. Beyonce came out to Kamala Harris's. She came to Texas. I'm Beyonce. She came to my state. And this is what I'm talking about. This was totally within. And I'm not hating on Beyonce, man. I don't want anybody to think I'm hating on her, but this is my problem with what happened at the rally that she attended. She could have performed. If she would have performed, it probably would have been a really large spectacle. Probably would have garnered some votes. Probably got a little backlash, a little bit of hate, but she could have performed. Instead, she didn't. She just showed the fuck up. Said what she said and bounced the fuck out. If she performed, which she could have totally she got money to put on free shit. But motherfuckers don't want to do shit for free. They don't want to do shit for a cause anymore. Everything has a monetary price on it. I have some friends, they just did something out of the goodness of their heart. God bless their heart. But they got down with some other people that they wanted to help. What they did is they went and helped some people, some homeless folks. They gifted them a trailer, a travel trailer that they could live in. They lost their everything in this hurricane that was down. I mean, like everything, damn near everything. But my friends, they gifted these people this travel trailer. And they got with some local business owners. Yo, I'm doing this for these people. And some people came out of the goodness of their hearts and gave them shit just to give these people, man, here's some food, here's some clothes, a little bit of fucking da-da-da-da-da, so on and so forth, et cetera, for these people. They get to fucking corporate-ass Camper World. In Camper World, they donated propane tanks. They brought it, which is great. But they donated those propane tanks on the contingency that you have to come here to Camping World to get them filled. Yo, how come you just can't give motherfuckers something out of the good of your fucking heart? Is what I'm talking about. There is no good of anybody's heart anymore. You know what I'm saying? Very few and far between do we find the goodness of somebody's heart. Now it's all about fucking money. How much money do you have? If you got enough money, you can buy the goodness of my heart. Just like you can buy my vote. It's unfortunate the world we live in, folks. It really is. But it's us that get to change it. It's us. We get to change it. Right now, the reason why it's off the rails is because these motherfuckers is up there with no fucking accountability whatsoever. Accountability. That should be the new word for 2025 is accountability. Simple as that. And I don't give a fuck who makes it into the White House. Accountability needs to be the first thing on the docket. I'm sorry. And all you niggas out here voting for fucking Trump. You motherfuckers is idiots. And I'll say this too. The Latins out there voting for Trump, especially like afterwards, after the fact. There's one Puerto Rican podcaster who called his own island, doubled down on what the dude said. Doubled down on it. And my wife is furious. My wife's Puerto Rican. My wife's fucking furious. You know what I'm saying? And yo, motherfuckers just get away with shit. And we let them get away with shit. And all we try to do is buddy up to bullshit. Buddy up to they bullshit. Stop buddying up to that shit. And I say this like I say every week. I'm like every podcast, not every week because I don't do this podcast every week. Maybe I might, but I'm not against white people. I'm against the power structure that has been created to oppress people. That's what I'm against. Okay? So it's not white people because there are white people that fight the same fight that I fight. You know what I'm saying? Cats like the Jolly Good Ginger, my man Ben the Curious, Drinkable Brian. There's a few of these cats out here on social media that fight this fight as well, and they do it at the expense of the ridicule of their own race. And shout out to them brothers right there for fucking doing that shit, because that shit right there is real, man. For them to get behind something enough to say that, yo, I'm calling out your bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit here and let you do me like that in front of these people, because that ain't me. That's not how I feel. That's what I get from these people. That's what I've gotten from these people. And I appreciate that, because it does. It adds to our cause. But we have to add to our cause. Black people, I'm talking to you, man. I'm talking to you, black people. You can love me or you can fucking hate me. But we need to turn in on ourselves. Simple as that, period, point blank. We need to stop leaving our issues in the hands of other people. Oh, we need the black vote. You know what I'm saying? Of course you fucking need the black vote. Of course you need it. But we need to hold, like I said, what was the word again for 2025? Accountability. We need to hold motherfuckers accountable when they tell us they're going to do shit for us, and then fucking don't. Democrats too. Not just the Republicans, Democrats too. And you know how you hold them accountable? By electing other people. By electing other people. If this Democrat didn't do it for you, and you can't vote Republican, elect another Democrat. Somebody who will get the fucking job. Somebody who can identify with you. If you get what I'm saying. What I'm really saying, and I'm going to pull the motherfucking scab right off. Pull the fucking scab and the Band-Aid off together. We need more black people running for office. We need more black people to be involved in the political process. We need more black people to be the police. We need more black people to be judges. We need more black people to give a fuck. Did you hear me? Let me say it again. We need more black people to give a fuck. Because right now, black people give a fuck about one thing, themselves. We give a fuck about ourselves until something happens, and then, we shall overcome, and let's march down the street, and that's all we doing. We march our ass right down the street. We march for fucking, we make a little bit of noise. We march in the street. We march our ass straight to fucking Popeyes. That's what the fuck we do. And then we go to fuck home, and shit happens again. This shit happens again, and that's what I'm talking about. There's nothing that ever gets done. You ever notice when shit happens in a white neighborhood, you know what I'm saying, a little white girl gets snatched or killed or something like that, everything, the fucking stops, come the fuck out. We need to do that for ourselves, because it's never going to be done for us. You know what I'm saying? And we sitting back here waiting for these people to do things for us is the problem. Get what I'm saying? Did you hear what I said? Let's hear it again. We sit back and wait for people to do things for us instead of doing it ourselves. Well, what are you going to do for us, Trump? What are you going to do for us, Kamala? What are you going to do for us, Biden? What are you going to do for us? Huh? What are you going to do for us? The fuck are you going to do for your fucking self? Motherfuckers want people to do some shit for them. That's the most ignorant shit in the world. What you going to do for me, Biden? Are you registered to vote? Well, no. Then what the fuck are you talking for? The fuck have you opened your mouth for in the first place anyway? You ain't even registered to fucking vote. And I used to be one of them ignorant niggas also. Man, fuck these niggas, man. These motherfuckers don't have until I registered my ass to vote. And I saw the power of me voting. First fucking hand. Saw the power of me voting. And now I wouldn't miss it for the world. Why? Because it's my opportunity to change some shit. To help change. I can't do it by myself. But a lot of us can together. Especially if we get our heads out of our asses. Stop giving a fuck about gold chains and ice and dumb shit like that. Stop buying frivolous bullshit and start buying the fucking land that they won't give us. Could take some notes from some other people, man, like China. Could take some notes from China. Don't nobody else in China own the land in China except for the Chinese. Here in America, the Chinese own over 300,000 acres of land here in America. The Chinese are, I guess they would be our, not necessarily our enemies. We trade with them, but we're capitalists. They're communists. If you get same thing. Russians own property here. People who are enemies of this country own property here. Why? Because we sell anything to anybody. That's the truth. That's cool. But you know what, black folks? We should be some of the people buying up some of this property. We really should be. Should have been. Should have been. But instead, we get sold a dream. That's exactly what happens. We get sold a fucking dream, and we sell our whole asshole out. I remember about 15 years ago, I was living in before I moved back to Florida. I was living in Brooklyn, and there was a renaissance in Brooklyn where all the brownstones was getting bought up, and Bedford-Stuyvesant was supposed to, which is the hood, was getting bought up, and all these people from all these yuppies from Park Slope and these surrounding areas, they were coming into the hood and buying up the brownstones, and they were offering black people that had been on the block, they were offering black folks for their brownstone $250,000, $300,000 for their brownstone, and we fucking took that shit. Like some fucking dumbasses. And the reason why that was dumb is because as soon as we fucking did it, they turned around and that $350,000 brownstone, they shot that bitch up to $1 million. And now they look at these motherfuckers like they not even supposed to be in the neighborhood that they grew up in. We have always needed to buy some property, but instead we buy jewelry. To buy some property, but instead we buy cars. To buy some fucking property. But instead, we'll buy the biggest house we could find on the smallest piece of land we could get. Property. I'm talking about acres and acres and acres. Acres of property. It's out there. It's all for sale. And we should be out there trying to get it. We should be out there trying to get it. We should be out there doing our fucking damnedest to get pieces of this country that we built. But instead, we're not the same people we're not even the same people we were 20 years ago. We're not the same people that we were 20 years ago. 20 years ago, I look at it like I didn't know any obese black people. About when I was 12, 10, I didn't really know a lot of obese black people. And let me tell you why. Because we hustled. We had to. We worked. My grandmother, the town I live in, they built a like some sort of office building on the property. But there was a house that was down the street from where I live now that my grandmother cleaned this lady's house 4 times a week. And then it was more once the lady couldn't move so much. But the lady, she was very nice to me and my sisters. But I did hear her call us niggers. She was an old lady, from the South, and she that was what they called us, and I was just young. I just played in the yard a lot. She had a lot of cool stuff out in the yard and, toys and things in the yard. I just played in the yard while my grandmother cleaned this woman's house. My grandmother she was a fairly healthy lady. We ate good food. We ate meals at home together. My father worked his ass off. My father was a gym teacher, built like a brick shit house. My brother also, played football. Both my older brothers were, built like brick shit house. I looked at all my father's brothers and sisters, all my mother's brothers and sisters, all thin. My cousins, people down the street, people in the fucking neighborhood. I didn't know a lot of obese black people. And that's because we ate better than we ate. But now we eat what they give us. Because we eat what we can afford. We have to vote, y'all. We eat what we can afford because of all of the legislation that has been passed against us. We can't get jobs for a reason. They won't give us jobs for a reason. That's why you can't afford the things that you need. because you can't get a job. You can't get a decent job anyway. And the job that you have, they want to keep you relegated in the position that you're in. We need to vote, y'all. We need to get up. We need to say, hey, listen, I'm going to use this opportunity to take control of our lives. Listen, this is the power of voting. This is how strong voting is. I think it's Mississippi. I think it might have been Louisiana, or Alabama. Either Louisiana or Alabama. One of them two states. There was a municipality that just ruled in favor of these people who wanted to form an all-white town. They ruled in favor of that. They took a vote, and it passed. That's the power of voting, everybody. That's if you're down, if you down like that, you really can change history. If you really focused on it like that, you and your people around you can change history. I sit and I talk politics with my friends a lot. When back in the day, this shit would be some taboo shit. What if people started talking about politics at a younger age? What if children really started learning what it was, the real ins and outs, instead of some fucking, history class lesson of, the fucking political, our political system? What if every year from the time we could learn, we were taught about all the things that have happened in our country due to policy and politics, instead of just us growing up thinking that shit is just the way that it is. Because I grew up thinking the world was way different than it is now. I really did. When I was young, I didn't really think there was such a thing as a racism. I didn't realize. I was young. I did not realize. I had some friends of other, ethnicities, other nationality. I had some friends that were from different places. I did not realize that the adults were harboring a bunch of racism. And I didn't realize that those things were passed down to generations. And I'm going to tell you guys one story. And it hurt me, but and I know these people personally. I still know them, and I love them to death. And I love them to death now, but it didn't always start that way. I had a friend that married a woman, and she had 2 kids previously. So her husband was out of the picture, and one day, while my friend and the lady were dating, she was taking her son somewhere, and there was a prison bus. And, here in the South, you see a prison bus, it's a bunch of black people on it. And the little boy began shooting at the bus. Pew, 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 just shooting. Pew, pew, like play, with his fingers, just kind of pew, pew, pretending to shoot. Pew. And my friend asked me, he said, "What are you doing, buddy?" And this 2-year-old boy, 3-year-old boy, maybe 4, I think maybe he was 4. This 4-year-old boy said, "I'm shooting niggers," without skipping a beat, without stuttering. "I'm shooting niggers." He's 4. Now, I knew his mother, and I knew her for a long time. And I knew his mother to be a good person, and she is not like that. She wasn't like that. What he was learning it from his father. He was learning that behavior. It was being beaten and instilled in this young man at this young age to hate black people enough that they want to shoot and kill him. My friend, that day, he put a stop to that. And once my friend married that woman, those same children became essentially my children, because it was my best friend who is the producer of my show, and it's his son Justin. It was his son Justin when Justin was young, and now Justin is my nephew. I call that boy my nephew, and if anything would ever happen to Justin, they're gonna have a serious problem with me. But Justin started off being taught the wrong things, and I'm glad that he was able to turn that around. And now Justin is a fine young man who understands the value of everybody's life, who understands that black people's lives do matter. He does understand that. And we've talked about it. Justin went on to become my roommate at one point. I love that boy. And he loves me like I'm his uncle. And so does Megan, his sister, loves me like I'm their uncle. I've known those kids since they were babies. Justin's 33. That was almost 30 years ago. In a year, it'll be 30 years that young man was sitting, shooting niggers on the bus. And how he has turned out to be, an exceptionally fine young man. So listen, all I'm trying to say is a lot of this behavior out here is taught to people. A lot of it out here is being learned. Okay? It's being learned and taken to heart. And these people are standing up on it, and they're standing in it. So listen to what I'm telling you, folks. Okay? Listen to what I'm telling you. It's one of those things this time around. I mean, even if, you got to do it this time. You got to get out and vote so we can change that mentality. So we can show people that is not what this country is. This country is made up of all different races of beautiful people, including you black people. All right, so that's going to do it for this episode of the Black Lives Don't Matter podcast. And I really hope that it starts mattering to us black people. I really do. It really needs to start mattering to us. Our lives need to start mattering to us. We need to start making our lives precious, not just mattering. Black lives are precious. Okay? We just don't matter. We just don't matter. Black lives are precious. Remember that. I'm Darren Harris. This has been the Black Lives Don't Matter podcast. And I will continue to do this podcast. And I have to do this podcast. And I have to continue to do this podcast. Because black lives still don't matter in this country. Because if they did, then I wouldn't need to do this podcast now, would I? Listen to what I said, folks. Listen to what I'm telling you, folks. Get your ass out. Get up. Stop making excuses. Get up and go vote right now, black people. Change your future. Peace.